In this episode, we're going to build an autocomplete feature using Angular4 and Firebase. Users will be able to type into a search field, and the results will automatically be updated in the field below. In order to demonstrate this feature, we have the real-time database populated with a series of movies. The search function will match string patterns to the title in the database, similar to the SQL-like operator. Let's get the app started by building the service. The service is very simple. All we need it to do is return a Firebase list observable that we can pass a query to. And this query can take either just a regular string object, or it can take a subject from RxJS. Passing it a subject allows you to call next on the underlying subject, which is a lot easier and more intuitive way to filter the query. Now we can jump into the component. The first thing we do is build an input field where the user can enter their search value. Then we'll attach a function to the key down event, which will run every time the user presses a key in this field. From there, we will populate an array of movies and then loop through them using the ng4 directive. And as a final touch, we'll add the ngIf directive to a div that will only be displayed if the movies array is empty. In the component TypeScript, we start by injecting the service that we built earlier, and we also import the RxJS subject class. Now we declare a couple of variables. The movies variable is going to hold the Firebase list observable. The start@, and end@, variables are both going to hold subjects. And it's important that these are each their own individual subject. During the onInit lifecycle hook, we'll trigger the getMovies function from the service, and we'll pass it the two subjects that we declared earlier. Then we subscribe to it, and the value that it emits will be our movies variable. Now we can define the search function. We start by using the event variable to get the actual value that the user inputted into the form, and then we use that value to set the two subjects. For the end@ subject, we add a special Unicode character to the end of the string. This basically tells Firebase to match the first pattern and then anything that comes after that first pattern as well. Again, it's very similar to the SQL-like operator. So at this point, we actually have a working autocomplete feature, but there's a few optimizations that we can make. Currently, we're hitting the database after every key down event, which is very inefficient. We can limit this by keeping track of the time between keypress events and only running it after a certain amount of time is expired. In this case, we'll set it to 200 milliseconds between key presses. A second issue we're running into is we're getting a Firebase warning that our title attribute is not indexed in the database. We can fix this by going into the Firebase console and then adding the attributes that we want indexed at any point in the database. In this case, we'll tell Firebase to index the title attribute on our movies collection. That's it for this episode. If you found the video helpful, please like and subscribe. And if you want to support the channel, consider becoming a pro subscriber at Angular4Firebase.com. For just a few bucks a month, you'll get access to exclusive content as well as free one-on-one project consulting. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.